3, 2, 1. And we are going live. 3, 2, 1. And we are going live. Hello, hello. Hello, guys. So we will continue where we left off yesterday. We are at link to start sheet. I think it's going to link something to the CSS. I think so. I don't know.
Now it's time to
Don't trust me.
flaw in our blackjack, which is that it has no user interface. If we want this to be a hugely successful online blackjack game, it has to use HTML and CSS so that users can play it via a browser. And I've actually set up the basics for you here. You can see an HTML file with a head and a body, and then inside of the body we have an H1 with text blackjack, and also we are linking to the JavaScript file here on line 8. And as you can see, if we bring up the mini browser, this just renders out the H1 tag. So your job now is to link this HTML file to the CSS file. You can see I've created just one CSS rule in this file, and it will be applied, changing the color of the title when you manage to add a link to the CSS file here on line 5. So I almost every single time have to search on Google for how to link to CSS from HTML. I end up at something like this. So I want you to do the same thing. And one tip would be to find this W3 schools right here, as they often pop up on Google and contain the necessary information. So go ahead and figure this out on your own, and then I will show you the solution afterwards as well.
Okay. I think I remember. Remember right? Is link start sheet. Am I right or I'm freaking wrong? To link HTML to CSS. I don't remember anything that I studied in school. Yeah, rel. And then start sheet. You have to close this. No, not this link. Do I have to close it? I don't think so, yeah. href style.css, alright.
Okay, hopefully you nailed that. And the line we're looking for is this one: link rel equals style sheet, href equals HTML file, and the current file you're going to point to.
Index.css. We run this. Right, we save it.
Now,
And
well, it
keep
is
going.
that file you are pointing to, say style sheet. Because as you remember, CSS is short for cascading style sheets. And then it is the href, which in our case is index.css. We are in the same directory, so we don't need to navigate into a folder or anything like that. We'll just write index.css. And the href attribute is something you should be familiar with by now, as that's also what we use when we are creating links. Now, let's run this code. Boom! You can see color has changed, meaning we are indeed
Yeah.
style sheet. Great job.
Basic styling. Alright.
Okay, now it's time for you to style this app. Because as you can see, it looks kind of bad. I've added a few more paragraphs here, as you can see. One says want to play around and has an ID of message shell, and then just 2 other paragraphs that will display the cards and the sum eventually. Your job now is to take this HTML and make it look like this. We head into the index.css file. You can see it says complete the CSS styling according to the provided design. And here I've created 2 new selectors for you, the body and the message shell. The thing is, you can create this entire design by only using these 2 selectors. So that's why I have them here for you. Also added a table.png inside of an images folder. That is for the Xeno background that we are using here. And you've learned all about how to do this styling in previous modules of the career path. So if you struggle, you can go back and rewatch some of those lectures if you want. Now, before you start solving this challenge, I'm going to add the font family for you because we're using the trebuchet font here. You haven't really learned how to do that, so I'm going to do it for you. Font family up in the body.
Font family.
Here I specify trebuchet. And as you noticed, what happened now was that the editor gave me a bunch of other fonts as well. And this is called a font stack. And the reason we use font stacks, because if your operating system doesn't have Trebuchet MS installed, well then your browser can't show that font, unless you've also imported it from Google Fonts, for example, or included it in your project, neither of which we have done right now. So if your operating system can't show Trebuchet MS, then we're telling it to look for Lucia Sans Unicode then. Don't have that either, well look for Lucia Grande, and so on and so on. So it kind of ensures that you don't want to get deep with almost me and the message shell, so that you turn this boring page into what looks much more like a real blackjack game. Go ahead and do this right now.
Alright, buddy. Have to see. Oh. So, image. Background. Image. Background image is table.png. So I write like that. Let me see. Background image CSS URL, media, stuff like that. All right. URL. Images slash table.png. Yep. Let me go here and we check P, which P message L, and then the next P. Alright, so all the P has the same font size. P is text align centers, and then size, what is it called? Size, text size, weight, oh, I need to this then weight, font weight, or font size CSS. Do font size is equal to what is font size rule, guys? I'm a little, I don't know any of this. Let's just do medium. XX large, no, large, largers, looking pretty like it. All right, and then the blackjack is also text align centers. Right, looking pretty like it right now. And message L. Let me check. Already, he won't play around. So, all right. And then text colors. White. Right. And then what do we need? Oh yeah, the message L. Text style. What is how to, what do they call this? What do they call when the text is like leaning? Forgot that word. Make your text leaning. Indentation, isn't it? Spacing, height. No wrapped. Text decoration. Overline, underline, line through. Purple. Nope. Transformation. Uppercase, lowercase, capitalize. Text color. Text spacing. Fonts. Sans serif. What the hell? What do they call that? Indent. No, it's not indent. Indent is like making space in type. Just go to words. 2013, and then we will check. I have no ideas. What do they call this? Adelaide. Okay. Oh my god. Did I have here? Nope. How to make your text italic in CSS. Font style. This font style. All right. So we got it. Yep, we got it. We got them, boys. And now we keep going.
But now, no matter how wide you make it, the image still covers the full width. Okay, next step is size property. Set that to cover. Now, no matter how wide you make.
Oh, okay, I see. Background. Background style, isn't it? Size is covered. Background. Size. Covered. This is just like fixing stuff. Let's keep going.
Image still covered. covers the full width.
Full width.
Okay, next step is to center this text and make it white. So
This is easy.
Turning everything into white except for the H1, which you can see here we have specifically specified that H1 should be color goldenrod, and that overwrites color white on the starting to look normal. So with that, let's move on.
I basically use more stuff than him, and I don't think I follow the instruction quite well. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay, so now we need to enable our user to click a button to play the game. And we're going to do this through a challenge, of course. And I'm really excited about this one because it includes both HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this is the first time where you'll use all three languages to solve a problem. And the reason that this is so cool is because this is how it works in real life. When you get a job as a professional developer, you'll juggle between HTML, CSS, and JavaScript all the time. And this is an opportunity to start practicing exactly that. So it's a three-part challenge, starting here in the HTML, where you are going to create a button that says Start Game.
Oh,
And
it's
it
easy.
call a start
Easy
game function
stuff.
when it's clicked.
Easy
So,
peasy lemon
obviously, we
squeezy.
also need to create that Start Game function. We'll do that in the index.js.
All right.
Here we are to create the Start Game function and move the conditional below, line 11 to 20, that's lines,
Inside
into
the body text.
of the function.
All right.
So that this code is run when the button is clicked. And then finally, you have to make the button look good for the user. You are going to style it according to the provided design.
All
And
right.
that is exactly here. You can see the start button. So just click to open this slide whenever you need to take another look at it. And doing this, translating a design into CSS, is something the front-end developers do every single day. So it's great practice.
What?
Whenever you need to take another look at it, and doing this, that's the color of the text.
Okay.
It should have this hex value. The width should be 150 pixels, and the background should be goldenrod. Same as the text color on the H1. This is a big one, so I can totally understand if you'll struggle a bit going through this one, but give it your best shot and then return to this screencast.
All right. It's easy. Pretty much easy stuff here. Buttons. And we have an on-click function. Not to see. We call that start game. Guys, when you write a function, on click is a function when the player my apology. Wow. So an on click is basically when you click a buttons, this will send a function to another place, and that place is your JS. It's your JavaScript. Your JavaScript is going to do the order. This is just like click, click, click. It doesn't understand anything until it doesn't do anything until you identify what the function is going to be in your JS file. So yeah, button on click. I might have to add an ID to it, but let's just do it later on because he might state what the ID is going to be, because it's going to be on the next video. He might say, oh, this button's supposed to have this ID and it's going to link onto the index.css. So let's just say this button is going to be start game. All right, and then what I always do is check. Right now, what I always do when I work on something like this is I do the HTML first, and then I do the JS, and then later on, when everything works, I just go back into the CSS. I don't want it to look nice at the beginning. I just want it to work first, and then you can make it look nice later on. So yeah, let's just skip this part, and then we go into the JS. So create a start game function. So now you want to make this start game buttons do something. I basically tell my JS to get this start game click. When the player click this, my function is going to do something, and then we put this here, and then here. Do I have to put it? Move the conditional below line 11 to 20 inside the body of this function. All right. There we go. Oompa Loombas. And we got it. We got it. Yeah. Let's remove this. And then, oh, I might have to do this. And then now, check, run it, start game, start game, start game. It doesn't work because there's no sum right now. Message. Open this. I hate it when my JS do this. It just doesn't look nice. Why is it not working? Run. Function start game if sum is less than equal to. Oh yeah. It's supposed to print this. It's supposed to print this. Or am I stupid? Message. First, let me check if this function work. Let me try this. No, it will be an error. Yep. Yeah, so we have that. We need to use that. And then what else? What doesn't as blackjack true is a lie false? That doesn't say this. Less than equal to. Yeah, it's less than equal to. Console log. Start game is not defined. Yeah, there's a start game. Start game. Do I spell it correctly? Yeah, I did. It doesn't work. Function start game when it's clicked. Supposed to print something out. Some card. What the hell? Do you want to draw a new card? Message woo blah blah. else message. Do I have to put this like this? I think I do. Run. What the hell? I'm struggling on this. Message. The sum is obviously less than equal to. Function. Start game. Start game. Open bracket, curly brace, and then we paste it in. What? Console log message, and then we just start game. Let's see that. Start game. Let me start this and say console log, and then call this message. Print out the message. Still doing this. Jesus Christ. What did I do wrong? Yeah, let's just style this first. Call buttons. Oh, yeah. Here we call this text colors. No, text color. And then width 150 pixel, right? And then background is golden rod. The hell? I thought we are okay with this. Alright. Alright. And I might do some styling, but I just want to see if it works. Font size. Let's do both. Font style. Bow. Lodges. Okay. Do. Large. Let's just do large, right? Or maybe I cannot do this because this doesn't state in. Yeah. Let's run this. Why is this still printing nothing?
When you want to see my solution. Good luck. Button. And that also centers the button. Next up, we need to call the start game parentheses, and if you remember, inside of a string right here. So when the button is clicked, we're going to call or invoke start game function. Then we need to create that function, and if you remember how to do that, inside of here, we are going to take this code, copy it.
I basically did the same thing.
Tab so that it looks better.
Oh my god. Oh my days. I didn't put the console log in here. That's why it's printing this out. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's why. Jesus. What am I doing? I have to put the console log inside of this. Because if you look at this, I put the console log so it's run this. Oh, message. And then it just log out. No. Wait, it's supposed to work as well. Why it doesn't work? Yeah, now it doesn't work. How did he write this? It's all inside. Yeah. I hate the way Javascript write conditional statement. It looks so cramped up and like, what the hell is this? And yes, I forgot. It's supposed to be out here. See, this is why. Now, yeah, that's why you got it. That's why you got it. Forgot it. Wait, if you put it outside, it's supposed to work as well. Because it's supposed to run this. Oh, it's true. Then what you want to do? Go out here, right? Because it's in the function start game. Maybe that's why. Because it's only when click. Because this doesn't one is this thingy doesn't belong into the click. It was out here. It was out here instead of inside of the start game. That's why it doesn't run. It could be, possibly it could be. Maybe that's the reason. Yeah, let's save this.
Like that, and rename the page. Let's ask about right.
Padding top. You want some padding top? Padding bottom.
Adding bottom to 5 pixels there as well. Yeah, not too bad. However, as I mentioned, this text is really thin, and here it's SD, so we want to do
Font weight. No, so bold is font weight, it's not font style. Padding top. And then we do another one called font weight. Bold. Okay.
order none. Okay, now we proceed to picking a back.
Right.
Okay, so now our player can click the start game button like this. However, we're only logging out the message. Obviously, we don't want to do that. We want to display that info on the page, along with, of course, information about the cards and the sum. But starting with the message, I want you to solve a 2-part challenge. First, you are going to store the message L paragraph, that is this one right here, in a variable called message L, using the camel case naming convention, and then going to display the message using message L.text content. And of course, you can remove the console log right here since we don't need it anymore, as the message will pop up here in our app instead. So go ahead and give this a shot.
All right. Easy. Flat. Message L equal document get element by ID, and then boop, what is message L? All right, now what we can do, message L dot text content equal to message. Hey, we got it.
And return back to me when you want to see my solution.
Easy.
And then using GML, and also when emojis like this. Also maybe make it a bit more neutral. Dealers will just tell us.
Yeah, let's just skip the emoji part. Yep. I don't want to woohoo. Yeah, that's way better.
But we have blackjack. We'll shout out. Woo!
Woohoo!
Okay, so let's make our game a little bit more useful, because now you can click the start game button and indeed get the message from the dealer, but we have no idea what our sum and our cards are, so we obviously need to render that out. And we're going to start with the sum. So it's a 3-part challenge where you first have to head into the HTML, there give the sum paragraph, that is this one, an ID of sum-L, then you are to store the sum paragraph in a variable called sum-L, like this in camel case. Finally, render the sum out. So here I'm talking about the actual numeric sum on the page using this format. So sum, colon, and then the given sum you have up here. So here you have to keep this text, which is already in the DOM, intact. But we have done that before, so hopefully you'll manage it. If not, no worries. You can just revert back to the screencast and I will show you how to do it as well. Go ahead and give this your best shot right now.
Alright, so store the sum paragraph in variable called suml. Alright, so do we have a sum? Oh yes, we need to first of all do the HTML, then JavaScript. Here's the order that how you're supposed to do stuff. How you supposed to work with a web, like an app that consists of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You need to do the HTML first, finish all of it, and the JS. You need to work on the JS after, not the CSS, because if it doesn't work, you can still go back to the HTML and fix it. And with all the when like all the stuff is like not in orders anymore, because with CSS you can manipulate and put blocks and position absolute, some of the stuff would disappear, and you don't want that. You want to see it's like a computer. You want to work with the command prompt, not the Visual Code Studio Code. The Visual Studio Code makes you look at the code easier, but command prompt is always faster, and it's simple to the point where you like see it's so structured, well structured, that it's faster for you to solve things. Yeah. I don't know what did I just say, but okay. Let's go back onto this sum paragraph. Give the sum paragraph ID of L, sum L. All right, ID sum L. Right. Now we go into the JS. Now we go into the JS. Into the JS. Let suml equal to document dot get element by ID. Call this suml. Samuel. My name is Samuel. Alright, then render the sum on the page using this format. Render the sum on. So you have to put it at the beginning, right? Suml equal dot init text content equal to sum. No, it's supposed to be. I can do sum this and then this plus this, right? Now we run it again. All right, baby, we got it. We got him, boy. Got him. All right.
Okay, let's do this. First is this time we can do take the element. Then we need element itself. So I'm assuming like that in the ID selector right here, you can see we are using the hashtag grab the message L, because this paragraph has an ID of message -L. Likewise, some has an ID as well, so we're using the hashtag tell queries. However, then we also have to change this hashtag and replace it with a dot. Hopefully you remember that the way to select CSS classes is by using the dot. Run this, it still works. And actually, we could even pass in just the element name as well. We could do body right here. However, this would break our app since we're now, just clearing out the entire body when we are running this piece of code down here,
Query
line 11.
dot query
now,
selection.
SUML actually refers to this entire body. So as you probably understand, query selector is very powerful, and you will see it used in a lot of tutorials here on Scrimba. But as for right now, I just wanted to show it to you so that you are prepared once you see it.
Wait, I want to see it again.
Exact the value we pass now. So I'm assuming you're comfortable with this technique and are ready to learn another one.
Yeah, let's learn another one.
Something called the query selector.
Query selectors.
Let's comment out this one and copy it to a new line where we can change it. Here, instead of get element by ID, we'll do query selector, like that. Since this is a more dynamic method, we have to be a bit more specific in the value we pass into it.
Okay,
so here, we actually have to pass in a hashtag in front of the SUML to tell the query selector it's actually the element with the ID of SUML that we're looking for. Because unlike the get element by ID, we're not specifying that it's an ID in the method name. It's just called query selector, which is kind of a broader expression.
It makes sense.
So query, that's another word for question, and selector, that refers to CSS selectors. So we're kind of asking for an element by its selector, and then we specify the given selector inside of the parentheses. So here, if we run this, start game, exact this one. Then there's the likewise, that you could change this to class instead. Right here on our full method to understand.
Oh, I got it. Now, this is the fun part, guys. Fun part. Display the freaking cards onto the screen.
Okay, let's continue building that muscle memory of yours. You are going to do almost the exact same thing as you did with the sum, this time with the cards. Because obviously, when you start the game, you can see your sum now, but you can't see your cards. That has to be fixed. So
I'm excited for this.
Challenge, starting in the HTML, where you are to give the cards paragraph an ID of card cell. Then in the JavaScript, you are to store the cards paragraph in a variable called card cell with camel case. And then finally render it out in this format right here. So go ahead and do this right now, and then I will show you how.
Alright, HTML first. Give the card paragraph an ID of card L. Card L ID cards -L. Right. Alright. Now we can go into this. Store the card paragraph in a variable called card L equal to document dot get element by ID card /L. Alright, we got it. We got them, boys. And then render the cards on the page using this format. Right, cards L text content is equal to this cards boop nope cards first card and second card. First card plus second card And then, yeah, let's run this. Dun, 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 dun. Plus another space. This is easy peasy stuff. And then, oh, Jesus. Right. Start game. There we go. There we go, baby. There we go. You save this.
I would do it when you revert back to the screen of that. Now I'm of the power player. Then the second card.
Exactly how I do it.
I run this code.
Fucking god.
Game, and there we go. Both of the cards rendered out. Great job. Let's move on.
Exactly how I do it.
So our game really starts taking shape now. We hit the start game button, and we get the message, the cards, and the sum. However, the critical part of blackjack is the ability to draw a new card from the deck. So we need to start building that feature, and we are going to first begin with creating the new card button that you can see on the slide here. So in this three-part challenge, we're going to first head into the HTML and create that new card button.
Alright, new card button.
Then make it run a new card function
New card
when it's
function.
clicked. And then in the JavaScript, you have to create that new card function. For now, it should just log out drawing a new card from the deck. Then in the CSS, you need to make sure that when these two buttons are rendered out vertically, like this, so above each other, you'll need to make sure that this small space between them is added, because it won't be added by default. Now, if you enlarge in this browser and make it wider, they will render out beside each other. But you're not to worry about that layout. Make sure that you keep this browser window a little bit narrow so that they are rendered out under each other. And make sure that you get this little gap here. So, this is again a very holistic challenge. You are to write JavaScript, HTML, and CSS just like it is out in the real world. So go ahead and give this your best.
Alright. Alright. HTML first. Always HTML first. Buttons. On click. New card. Open close bracket. On click. Right. Call this new card. Right, and then we close. All right, so we finish this. Let's go to the JS. Always JS. Always HTML first. If you have a rule like that, never going to make mistake. Never going to make mistake, my friend. What I look, it sounds like my voice is really deep. Cut lockout, drawing new card from a deck. Alright. Copy this and here. Run this. Oh, it's side by side, so because it's side by side, so I want this display block. And then centers. Wait, what? Not align items. Not content. Make sure the two buttons have same space between each other when they render out vertically. Huh. What happened to my computer? Alright. Jeez. I need a margin first. Let's do a margin because that's what I know. Margin. Top. Start with left, right, left top, right bottom, right. 5 pixel. Alright, baby. Okay. That's how we do it. Ah. No, it's not going to do anything. A display block. How to align center in CSS. Margin auto with 50%. Maybe that's what margin auto. 0. Alright. 5 pixel. Okay. Yeah. Margin auto. Right. And the blackjack game is coming alive. Alright.
Start right now. In the here we got it. CSS, we hack this code, hit new card, and let's just say that we want any button pixels. Like that. There we see.
Margin bottom. Border radius. I have to copy this. And then padding top, padding bottom. Why this stuff doesn't go right next to each other? Huh? Ooh la la. Ooh la la.
That our button works. Alternatively, let's say that we, in some case, end up with a situation where something comes too close to the button on the top side of it. Maybe we need some margin on top of it as well. If I now add margin bottom and margin top for 4 pixels here, margin top 4 pixels, what you'll see is that the gap here became twice as wide because it has the top margin that pushes it down and also the start game button that uses its margin bottom to get the gap even larger. What we then instead can do is take 2 pixels on each. Now we have something that looks very much like this.
What I can do is I put this in border radius 2 pixel. Alright, my game looking pretty nice. Nice.
And we have created our buttons to move on.
I like it.
Okay, let's make our new card function a bit more useful. Now it's just rendering out this string. What we wanted to do is actually draw a new card and then add that new card to the sum and then rerun the code that is inside of the start game function so that the sum is added to the page. Actually, later down the line, we also want to show the new card, of course, but as for now, we're just going to worry about the sum. So this is a 3-part challenge where you are to first create a card variable, and we're still just working with hard-coded card variables. We're just going to code it to a number between 2 and 11. Then you are going to add this new card to the sum variable. And the sum variable is the one up here, of course, which currently is the first card plus the second card. And in this case, it'll be plus the third card as well. So you need plus equal the sum variable. Then finally, you are going to just call the start game function. Because what does the start game function actually do? Well, first, it renders out the 2 cards. In our case now, we'll have added the third card, so this will still be wrong. But line 13 will render out actually the new sum, because at this point, sum will have changed. We'll have modified it down here. And then it'll show the message based upon the new updated sum. Actually, it seems that we can use this start game function even after we've drawn a new card. And thus, we're going to rename it a bit later, but as for now, let's just keep it how it is, and your job is just to call the start game function here on line 33. So, go ahead and give this challenge your best shot, and then I will show you the solution as well afterwards.
No, nothing. Make sure the 2 buttons. Yeah, this is what I did before. Create a card variable and hard-coded value to a number 2 to 12, 2 to 11. Create a card variable. On this, yeah, card. Card is new card. This is new card. Upset, yeah. New card is equal to 2. Let's just do 2 or 11 or whatever you want. 10. Let's do 10. Yeah, we need to hard code it, and then at the end of this, I think this will run it like there's a library called run in Python, where it's basically selecting a random int in a list of a list of value that you given to the computer, and then yeah, it is basically random. It's not random, but it's pseudo random. I don't know how to explain it, but you can visit the randint website document and then read about it. It's really mathematically, and I cannot explain it. I'm fucking stupid. Yeah, but like, there's a library called randint. You guys should read it. It's not should read it, not read the document, but read how it's function. Yeah. Add new card to sum equal to first card plus third and plus new card. And then call the function start game. Upset. Da, 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 da. Yep. So this basically, when you click new card, yeah, you press start game first, right? It's obviously like this, and then this prints you out this, because it's only 14. Do you want to draw a new card? Yes. But it's a booby trap. It's 10 because we hard coded in. is 10. So now you click the new card, click the new buttons, new card buttons. It's console log. Oh, drawing a new card from a deck. Psych. And the new card is equal to 10. And then the sum. Ooh, when you click new card, oh, feels so fancy, man. It's so fancy. Drawing a new card from deck. Oh, but the new card is 10. Oh boy. And then it's going to read the next line, which is the new sum, which is this. We already declared this as sum, so now we basically override it, and the new sum is now equal to first card plus second card plus the new card. You got 24, and you are dead. But if you don't call the next one, you don't know are you dead or not. You don't know that. Because this is this. The only thing that knows that you are dead is this conditional statement. I have to display a new card and call this. Do I have an ID for this? It's in the card. Card L. Card L. And then plus this. And then plus a new card. Plus new card. New cards. Let's run it again. Start game. New card. Supposed to be here. Run. Start game. Doesn't show anything. Doesn't show anything, man. .l .text content. We override it. Oh! Supposed to be here. Run this. Huh? Maybe here. What the hell? How do I display this? Right, new card. Display new card. Card L. That's new card. It doesn't got declared, that's why. It doesn't show. Cards L.text content. It doesn't show anything. Card plus card plus second card plus Huh. Weird. It's weird. It's weird. Wait, new card. Ah. Ah. Let's put it out here. What the fuck? New card has already. Could be cards. Yeah, let's keep going, keep going. When you stop, you have to keep going.
So, let card here, we'll set that to a random number between 2 and 11. I'll do 7. And then we're going to add the new card to the sum variable. Remember how we add numbers to an existing variable? It's via the plus equal operator. So we'll do sum plus equal card. And then we'll call start game. So, start game like that. Let's rerun the code. First, to start game. Okay. Want to draw a new card? I happen to want to do that, so I'll hit new card. And boom! I drew the 7 card, which then made the sum reach 21, which then again made our dealer tell us that we got blackjack. That is exactly what we want. Now, let's see what happens if we, instead of a 7, got an 8 again. And then now let's just move on and first fix this little problem that the start game function name doesn't really make sense anymore, since we're calling start game here at a point where the game has already started, so semantically it doesn't really add up. So let's move on to the next cast.
My brain is starting to die a little bit.
So the problem now is that the start game function is triggered both when we hit the start game button, which makes a lot of sense, but also when we click the new card button, because even though the card button triggers the new card function, which is this one right here, that function itself calls start game as well. And while this makes sense because we want to run this code, the fact that start game still is called start game doesn't really make sense. Because if another developer comes in here and looks at that code, he'll be like, why are we starting the game all over again when clicking a new card? That doesn't semantically add up. What we want to do here is actually just change the name of the start game function, for example, to render game, because that's essentially what we're doing. We're rendering out the current state of the game. To render game, just rename this one to that. So far, so good. Then the problem becomes that we're actually calling start game here, and we could do render game like this, but actually I want to keep this start game function intact. Because down the line, there might be some other things we want to do in this game initialization function. So I want you now to create a function that uses the name start game and then just calls or invokes render game. That's all it should do, so that this start game button will work. Now, you can see it doesn't work when I click it. We're actually getting a reference error saying that start game is not defined, because we're trying to call the function that no longer exists. So go ahead and create start game function here on line 12 and make it just
function Start game. Render game. Oh, that's it. That's all is it require me? Oh. 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 Oh.
Call this render game function right here. Go ahead and do this right now. Curly brackets, great.
Yeah, let's keep going. We sprinting through this, and then let's get as many stuff done as possible.
Okay, so now we need to fix up the rendering of the cards. Because if I hit start game, I get the 2 cards out, and then hit new card, indeed our sum increases, but our cards paragraph are displaying only 2 of the 3 cards we've pulled from the deck.
Yeah, this is the problem that I got.
And a 6. First, we're only showing the 10 and the 4 in the browser because that is hard-coded here to only do that. No matter how many cards we pull from the deck, this line 16 will always just render out the first card and the second card. So this line here, pseudocode says render out first card and second card. What we instead need is something that says render out
all cards.
All the cards we have, regardless of how many cards. If we have 5 cards, it should render out 5 cards. If we have 2 cards, it should render out 2 cards. But that's not possible with the current implementation. And what we need is a central way of storing all of our cards. We need to store all of our cards in one variable, regardless of how many cards it is. And the way to do this is actually to use what's called an array, essentially a list of items.
An array.
I'm going to create an array here, and it's totally okay if you now feel confused. I just want to give you a little sneak peek at it before we take a deep dive and give you some practice on it. I'm going to do let cards equals, and then open and close with square brackets. That's the notation for creating
a list. All right.
Inside of these square brackets,
this is basically the same as Python. A list is usually identified with a square bracket, and then a dictionary is curly braces.
Paste the first card, then a comma, and then the second card. So this is now a cards array.
Wait, does people call it curly braces or curly bracket? Curly brace. What the fuck? Who the fuck is this? Curly brace. Cave story. You actually do some bougie stuff. Ooh la la. Curly bracket. Not curly brace. Oh, curly braces. It's okay too.
Both cards ordered by the first card first and the second card.
Second card.
All this an ordered list of items. Now we're down at what's line 18 now, and replace the first card by referring to the array instead and doing open and close square bracket and 0. Don't worry about that. You'll understand that in a minute.
It's a position.
Same things for the second card. And we'll do cards, open and closed square brackets, and 1.
I learned some Python before, so I pretty much understand. So this is the position in the list. So this is the index that go into call. So you have, this is the list. This is the list. You have first card, second card, and then cards is calling. So position 0, position 1, 2. It always start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever you want. So it's calling for position 0, the value in position 0. So the first card, and then this is the second card. All right. Yeah, we good.
Referring to this one right here, and 1 is referring to this item right here. And that is because arrays are so-called zero indexed. They start at 0 and 1, and we add a third card here. That would be index number 2. But we don't have a third card, so let's remove that. Now, even though you might feel a little bit confused now, let's just run the code, hit the start game, and see, yes, that it still works. So this way of doing it was the exact same as what we had previously when you just hard-coded in first card and second card like this. Now this opens the possibility later down the line to render out all of our cards in a dynamic way inside of the cards element, regardless of how many cards we have inside of our cards array. So that was a lot of information. Now we're going to take a step back, work with arrays, get your hands dirty. So don't worry if you didn't quite understand this, as you will surely do that after the next few lessons.
It's easy.
Okay, so arrays are ordered lists of items. However, that's a little bit abstract. So let's instead look at a real-world product. See if we can recognize any components that most likely use arrays as a data structure. So here we have a LinkedIn profile. This is Justin. He's a previous Scrimba student. And looking at this, there's immediately multiple components that most likely use arrays to render stuff out. You can see here on the right-hand side, there's some promotions, actually 3 of them, and that's basically a list of items. And while their order might be a little bit random, they still have a specific order. Likewise with the people also viewed here. That's a list of 4 people.
Yep.
Let's also scroll a bit down. Here we can see, even in the main section, there's this component that says featured. That is featured posts. And that's basically just a list of items. So LinkedIn probably uses an array to describe this data in JavaScript. So actually, let's just create that array. To let featured posts like that, then equals open and closed square brackets. The first one is actually Justin sharing the Netflix clone he built through a course here on Scrimba, and he actually deployed it as well. So he's going above and beyond. So check out my Netflix
He's good.
clone like that. Second one is actually a link Justin has shared to source code he's pushed to GitHub, which is also a great thing to do if you want to attract employers. So here's code for my project. I'm simplifying, of course, the data here because there are multiple parts of this. There's an image, there's text, there's comments, and so forth. But as for now, we're just simplifying it into strings. Third item here is actually Justin sharing the portfolio he has built through a Scrimba course as well. So I've relaunched my portfolio.
This is what I don't really like about. There's something like when you watch video, right? And then you think that the teacher is your instructor is basically, oh, he's talking about this video inside a video, right? And then you open the video, oh, and then he writes something on the file, and then you don't know what is he talking about. And it is something. It's the UX part. I don't know. It's the user experience stuff that I think just keep the video on one side and then you can see the code on one side and vice versa. I don't know how would you fix this, but that's like the only thing that I can think of is have a code on one side and then have the screen on one side, because if you keep opening this cover everything and then you cannot move it, and then this part it's just a bug. And
there we have an array.
It's just a bug for me.
Items. Now this line is pretty long, so sometimes you'll see an array formatted like this, as it makes it easier to see that it is indeed items. And a key thing to observe here is that we add commas after the items, but not after the final item. So only between items. So going back to LinkedIn, there are tons of components here that's probably utilize as
See,
arrays.
now I don't know what he's talking about. Or like, you can mark the video. Oh, he's talking here, and then just automatically open it up. But it's going to take a lot of resource.
For example, the work experience, that's a list of previous jobs, or licenses and certifications, that's a list of licenses, front-end path right here, and skills and endorsements. So a ton of examples. Now what I want you to do is create an array that lists your experience or education or licenses or skills or something similar. You are to choose what you want this array to contain. But try to think, how can you best describe your either experience, education, skills, or whatever in a way that would make your LinkedIn profile look tempting for recruiters? As that's a smart thing to think a little bit about already, even though you're very early in your coding journey. Go ahead and do that, and remember that the items should just be strings, just as I've done up here. Go ahead and do this right now. Okay, hopefully that went well.
Create an array that list of your experience. Okay, I don't know if the array should be strings. That experience. Yeah, it's pretty much experience equal. It's just a practice. Call this then this, and then this, and then this, and then you copy this. Yeah, let something be like this, and then that's pretty much it. Let's education, stuff like that. Blah blah blah. Got it.
Now I'm going
I just want to theme through.
I want to highlight lost his job in the petroleum industry due to the coronavirus pandemic, and less than 1 year later, he now works as a professional software developer. And as I said, he did that mostly through Rimba, and was a super engaged student at our Discord channel. And what's so cool about how he did it is that he sent out over 100 job applications without getting much luck, then went into optimizing his LinkedIn, and then suddenly he got 2 job offers. And the job he got actually came through a recruiter that found his LinkedIn profile as a result of keyword searches. Actually, he ended up tweaking his LinkedIn profile so that he attracted the right recruiter who got him an amazing job as a developer. So, for example, when you're riding the bus or out walking or cleaning or whatever, I don't want you to interrupt the course and listen to this instead of coding. It's more important that you code. You could keep it in mind for next time that you have half an hour or something, because I think you'll learn a ton about Justin, who at the age of 33 did his career shift. So with that little plug out of the way, let's move on.
Wow, amazing. Right, give me a break. I have to take a poo.
along the top of the frame, maybe on the side.
Alright, last video before we end the stream.
An
Alright.
important thing to know about arrays is that they are so-called zero indexed. And that means that if you want to grab the first item of the array, you do it through using the zero index, not the first index. And let me show you what that means in practice. Featured posts, that's our array, and I want to grab the first item. Check out my Netflix clone. I'll do that through open and close square brackets, and then passing in the number 0. If I now console log this, and we run the code, you can see, yes, that we are indeed logging out that string. So this isn't entirely intuitive, since we as humans normally start counting at 1, but in arrays, you start counting at 0. So if this is the 0th index, which index does this item have? Take a guess.
2. Easy.
Well, it has the index of 2, even though it is the third item. I run the code to now see that passing in 2 logs out I've just relaunched my portfolio. So here, 0 index, this is the first, and here is the second. Now, with this in mind, I want you to practice this. So you are to take my experience array here and log out the following to the console. And in this order, we are to start with the front-end developer in Soneta, then the people counter, and then CEO at Scrimba. So first this one.
Alright. Last one before we call it for this morning. I will come back later. It's currently 11 a.m. here in Vietnam. I will come back at around 3, maybe 4. I'll play some tennis. Yeah. This is called experience. Experience, and then square bracket. Front end Zenetta is 1. Can you do this? Optional, okay. Just do this. This is people counters for not start. So it's 2 and then 0. Run this code up, and we got it.
Then
Yeah.
this one, and just solve the here one number. Do you think confuse you a little bit? Featured posts dot length, and then console dot log this out. Which number do you think we'll see printed to console? Take a guess. Well, the answer
I think it's 3.
is
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And that
3.
might be a little bit confusing because I've just taught you that arrays are 0 indexed. So the first is 0, the second is 1, the third is 2. So it would be natural to believe that the dot length property of this feature post is 2 because the final index is 2.
How many items in the list?
Indexes are 0 indexed and confused. So let's move on.
Alright. I will call it a day for on this morning. See you guys in the afternoon. I will come back. Sure. Maybe around 4 or 5, or maybe at night. We will try to study as much as possible. I want to complete this blackjack game. Yeah. Alright, see you guys.